Hey, Stoney here. I'm joined by Klingley Wood, and this is the mini tournament Americas. At the bottom here, we have Underdog playing as an aerial specialist, and he's up against another dog, Doxun, the weekend champion from I believe it's the the European tournament. He's playing as a marksman specialist. And right out of the gate, we see the classic aggro, the split Phoenix Crawler aggro formation up against Stonecrawlers, crawlers, and of course level 3 marksman. How do you feel about this? Okay.
Um, I am liking Doxun's setup. I've been seeing him do this a lot recently with Stormcallers. He puts them right in front of the tower, has some chaff right behind that, and a couple arc lights, and it's kind of reminiscent of the Mizim versus Doxun game that we casted that we had an absolute blast watching.
Hmm.
It's a really standard setup, and I think it's really well equipped to deal with what we're currently seeing, right?
For sure.
How do you feel about it? Is there anything that you think we're going to be seeing here from either player?
Well, right now it's all about speed for underdog. If you can get the speed going, if you can get past these terrible volleys that just kills everything, I think he's in a
Hmm.
good spot. With Doxson, I think there may be a time, depends on how the game is going, he might consider want to start to sell at the Stormcrawlers, simply
Hmm.
because everything is now within their minimum range. But it's not there yet, so we'll have to see. In the future rounds, I do predict a few more arc lights coming down from Doxson. And for the underdog, well, he is aerial. I think Wasp is not a terrible option here.
Oh, but something huge just happened, which is the level 3 marksman from the marksman spec dies, and
Hmm.
that allows this Phoenix to get a level.
Hmm.
It changes a lot of the dynamics here. Uh, it changes a lot of dynamics here from the routes moving forward. But I think with the aerial spec, right, we're probably going to be seeing, like you mentioned, wasps, but I imagine also wraiths. And for example, right, we see this improved wraith card, which is going to make the unlock cost. We could buy two of these, right, and we'd basically pay for the unlock cost, which is now currently zero.
Hmm.
But we see a skip from both players, and I think that's fine. Um, let's see.
So additional
Um,
arc lights for the defender. This is very normal, very logical, right? Arc lights are excellent against the trap. However, there's nothing that shoots up at the corners, which means once the crawlers are defended, these phoenixes are going to do a bit of work.
mhm.
Um, the orange man looks a little exposed, but the middle draw is going to pull these crawlers away. I wonder if there's a sneaky gap somewhere. For example, putting crawlers right here as this arc light is busy walking towards the center, having a crawler right here just to run beelining towards the storm crawlers.
Yeah. Here's the difficult part for the marksman specialist here. If you don't match where these phoenixes are, right, you run into this issue where we might run into a bad tower timing, and that bad tower timing will get the orange man killed.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
you
being
know,
the only
it,
thing that shoots up, we really need that
yeah,
orange man.
we do. And without that, and if when that orange man does that, he gives out a ton of experience, right? And
Mhm.
if that experience goes to the crawlers, for example, suddenly you have to deal with level 2 crawlers, and the level 2 crawlers generally trade very favorably into arc lights. And there becomes a number of problems that can arise from that. Early levels is the
Mhm.
advantage of picking marksman specialist, and giving up those in the early rounds can
Mhm.
really swing the tempo in your opponent's favor.
Oh, for sure. And the unfortunate tower capture did not happen, so Doxon is going to get this round. But eventually,
Yeah.
he'll need to answer these phoenixes because whenever I play assault marksman or not assault marksman spec, and my opponent goes phoenixes, I always over rely on the single marksman, um, and that will cause me to lose rounds. So, and here's the insurance policy in the form of a squad of mustangs, just one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just trying to get rid of these level 2 phoenixes. And I think Doxun's defense now. Oh, actually, two squads of Mustangs. I think the defense now is pretty solid.
Yeah, yeah, we got two Mustangs, and I can't remember who was saying this, but I was watching a stream recently, and the concept is that Arclights trade pretty well into crawlers, and Mustangs trade pretty well into Fangs. And the intent here, right, is that we want to nurse the Mustangs up to a spot where they are able to handle crawlers on their own. So we have the Mustangs kind of positioned right behind the crawlers, and we kind of killed two birds with one stone here. Well, one, we are getting experience by killing those crawlers, but also we're getting the experience from potentially killing the birds once the Arclights clear the way for the Mustangs. So yeah, some good stuff here. Very solid setups, really basic standard bread and butter here, it feels like.
Mm-hmm. I'll challenge you on the Mustang crawler dynamic. I think if you said this about a month ago, I totally agree with you. But the crawler did get a health nerf, which means now Mustangs can actually trade okay versus a level 1 crawler. About a month ago, I think a pack of Mustang were just about to kill a no, actually they were barely able to kill a pack of crawlers. But considering that the cost of Mustang is twice of that of a crawler, is not very efficient. But nowadays, I think Mustangs do okay on the same level against the crawler.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. The nerf was a thing that did happen. I don't know how significant it feels, or it has like impacted the meta, because man, crawlers still run me over.
Yeah. Well, it changed a few breakpoints. For example, if you're heavy armor and if you're taking tower upgrade on the armor on a crawler, you're about 4 damage short of being two-shotted for Arclight.
Right.
So Arclight will still one-shot you, but just barely one-shotting you. So that's a bit upsetting because I used to love to go heavy armor spec and just take early +1 defense and just overwhelm my opponent with crawlers for a couple rounds. I can't do that anymore. And I think it also changes the dynamic for cost supply, maybe. No, actually, never mind. Cost supply always get one-shotted by Arclights anywhere, anyways.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking is like cost control Arclight versus regular crawlers.
Yeah, that requires 2 shots. That requires 2 shots.
Yeah. All right, so we got Phoenixes from the unit drop up against Steel Balls from the unit drop, and I'm pretty sure the Steel Balls have a very big advantage here. Not Phoenixes, I mean Typhoons.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't feel like Underdog's board is working for him. I think the Arclight wall here with the Stormcallers is very strong. For any stragglers, the Mustangs are more than capable of taking care of them. The
Absolutely.
Steel Balls is just sort of a nail in the coffin for any larger units that they might send his way. There's a little cute flank that's going on here, being completely shut down.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to point that out actually. If you look at Dox's positioning, it was kind of brilliant, right? He has, at least when I'm positioning my like back right crawlers in that back left and back right positioning, I'm oftentimes like putting him nice and snug in the corner. But hey, that Phoenix gets and snipes a little tower here. That's a really sick timing. But sorry, I got a little distracted by that. Where I was going with that is that he left a little pocket for a Rhino. He left a little 2x2 square and allows the Rhino to be there to answer a potential flank. And I think Rhino's answering flanks is incredibly strong. But yeah, Underdog manages to wrestle around back.
Yeah, that last tower was so good for Underdog. Just getting everything here under tower debuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Firepower control comes up. Both players grab it.
Yeah, lots of Mustangs could benefit from this. Typhoon could benefit from this. Loyal user for the dog to really just to stop something, I think. Maybe just put it right here, stopping mostly the Typhoons from getting too close to the tower. And remember, Doxun kept the Stormcaller, so anything that's stuck in the oil is going to take at least one extra shot from the Stormcallers, and that's a lot of great value.
Absolutely. Also, something I've been seeing Doxon do quite a bit of is to kind of like give these storm callers a good focal point. He'll put vertical fangs in front of them and also in front of that, like on the line of scrimmage. So essentially, right, what that's going to do is that's going to pull everything in front of on that left side flank, on that high aggro flank, into those fangs, into that oil. They're all going to be grouped up, and those storm callers are just going to wreak havoc. And yeah, cool stuff. Ooh, and then a flank on the right from Underdog. Okay.
Mhm. I'm not feeling too hot about these flanks, aside from just delaying the units a little bit because they're not really achieving damage, right? Um, and he still hasn't directly answered the steel ball threat. I mean, last round he got really lucky with the tower timing, but
Mhm.
I don't think Typhoon is the best unit against steel balls.
Yeah, it. I think in most cases it isn't either, but I think it's important to know that these steel balls don't have armor.
Mhm.
So there's never going to be a time when the Typhoon's damage is completely shut down. The Typhoons will still have the potentiality to do a lot of damage and out DPS what's coming in front of them. But we do trade towers here.
Yeah, and it's gonna get this tower.
Okay. Huh. I was a little worried Orange Man's about to go down there again.
Yeah.
But a really strong crack from Underdog. Or from Doxun onto Underdog.
Hmm. So, what would you think would be a way out for Underdog here? I mean, he's got a board that I don't think is very optimized against whatever Doxing's throwing at him. He has a few problems, right? So, first, he's got the ball problem. Right now, there's really only two things, right? Got the two Phoenixes that are decent against balls, and that's about it.
Mhm.
Um, he's got a potential Mustang problem that's growing because they're going to get fat and they're doing a lot of damage. And then, of course, there's that positioning, right? With Underdog, he needs to go really fast. He needs to get there, get tower, or at least one of the tower. Um,
And then
so
do as
that
much damage as possible when that
and do
tower's
as much
down, right?
damage as that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have fast units. Right now, yes, you got the crawlers, but your main damage dealers in the form of these typhoons, they aren't really fast. They're gonna get stuck in the oil forever. They're waiting
Mhm.
for things to come to them. Everything except the balls outranges the typhoon on the docks inside. Right. So it's kind of a tricky situation. He wants to go aggressive, but his units is kind of slowing them down.
Yeah, I think what I am sort of thinking about in my head here, if I'm Underdog, is I want like artillery on my boats,
Mhm.
and then I want like charge shot on my phoenixes.
Mhm.
And instead of like barrier on my typhoons, I kind of understand the thinking here, right? The thinking is that we want to buy some time against the stormcallers. I wanted mech rage. I want to get in and I want to hurt ducks. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, I think like Degen Beam here is also incredibly powerful, but that's like we're getting to the point where it's like a wish list, right? But
Mhm.
I think what I would want to see here, like first and foremost, is probably something like the artillery for the Overlord, and doing a lot of damage with that.
Mhm. I think Mech Rage on Typhoon is an excellent idea. And I want to add one more unit to the list.
Let's hear it.
Stormcallers. As an
Yeah.
aggro player, the defending player's unit almost never move, right? So yes, your units are dodging missiles, but your opponent's unit never even gets the chance to dodge missiles. So having Stormcallers and just shelling from that distance, being so close to the tower, is going to do you more good than it does to your opponent.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. But not to make a little pun here, but I think the real underdog of this this last round were these hacker pickups from
Mhm.
Underdog. Um, so in general, steel balls kind of get owned by hackers. What ends up happening, right, is that one hacker steals one steel ball.
Mhm.
The three steel balls turn to that one. The hacker starts hacking another one, and as that steel ball is ramping up on that other steel ball, it's now dying. The
Mhm.
hacker's now taking that other ball, and they basically get stuck in a spot. So I think that's a really heads-up play. But we're seeing three fortresses with barrier and launcher overload and a war factory.
Is it gonna
Whoa!
click this button?
Oh, wait, what button? Oh, the launcher over. I
Launcher
think that would be
overload?
sick. Yeah, I think that'd be sick. I think temp speed is an absolute must here if I'm underdog.
Mhm. I wouldn't mind start leveling up those hackers. I feel like once you get the shield down, the hackers can go do a lot of damage on these level 1 fortresses.
Yeah, I completely agree. I played a game against Fury, Hacker Man himself. And I thought fortresses were a great call with barrier. It's a perfect answer to what a hacker's doing. No, my fortresses all got taken from me. They started killing me. And in his words, fortresses are just targets. So you have to be very careful in this matchup. I think
Mhm.
there's a very strong reality where it could be a trap because I think especially here, right, is that the hackers significantly outrange these fortresses. Yeah, 150 to 95. So once this chaff goes down, it's going to get real ugly. Let's hope it doesn't.
All right, so let's see how this action pans out. One fortress is already got locked
Oh,
on.
oh.
Yeah, and this is a fairly healthy fortress too. Now looking at this side, oh, Steel Ball's unable to get a lock onto the War Factory, which means the War Factory is able to clear everything here. And now it's up to these two hackers to essentially take over this entire army that's been stuck in the oil here. And somewhere in between, there's a tower capture right now.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
There's one ball.
Oh, and see the steel ball gets taken, and now everyone's gonna sit there and look at that steel ball. Oh, but there's still some chaff left. And that's
So chap left. Ooh, good final ball with the dying breath getting over that War Factory. All right, so we got deployment spec. I really wish Underdog would take the deployment spec and drop down 4 packs of Stonecallers right here. It helps with the shield break. It helps with everything else that's gonna come his way. Now remember, no more oil on this round, which means the other half of Doxun's army is gonna arrive that much sooner.
Mhm. Now, are these Doxon's missiles?
These are Doxun's missiles. There are 2 of them
He,
each, aimed at
he's trying to shield break.
typhoons. Yeah, 10,000. Did Doxun take a shield spec? Yes. So it's gonna shield break all these. Well, not all these. The level ones,
Oh,
unless
the smoke bomb is so good.
yeah.
Oh. So I think what's going to happen, right, is what I imagine is going to happen because we have a level 2 and a level 4 typhoon here on the left side. Is that this level 2 will have the shield remaining, and the level 4 will have the shield remaining, but this level 1's going to lose it. And that little pocket of smoke, this war factory is going to roll right through. So it's going to be a real problem. But like you mentioned, launcher overload is clicked, and so is range on the war factory. This is going to become very hard for Dox to win, I think.
Well, not if the smoke lands, and I think it will land. He does have missile specialist, which means his missiles are doing
Oh.
15,000 damage per missile. Right? That's all, except for level 3. And these 2 war factors are walking right into the smoke. And guess what? There's sneaky steel balls in between, and this one's already locked onto the war factory.
Oh.
And that one is locking onto the war factory. Oh no. Oh no, this is disaster for the underdog here. We got one remaining war factory that is taking on the world here. Everything of Doxun's still alive.
Oh no! What a sick shield break. Not a tactic you see often, but always such a pleasure. And I'm pretty sure that's game, man.
I think that's game. Wow.
Heads up play from Doxun. That's all I can say, man. Such an inspiring player to watch.
What a killing blow here. A 1-2 punch wombo combo that could only work if you had the shield break. And he was able to commit. A lot of time the players look at this and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to spend 400 resource on missiles. But no, if the 400 resource is going to win you the game, you spent that money, baby. All right. It looks like we had another great game. I hope you enjoyed this game. And if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.
Prepare your tactics. Mechabellum's calling. Deploy your fortress. The battlefield's alive with swarms.